Well, hey everybody, Logansfarm here, and yeah, war wagon's looking a little beat, but it's going to run the question by some of you. Some of you probably know Fords a little better than I do. Get in the damn door here. But, yep. Well, I moved, and I was pulling a car trailer around with this thing, and the last load I took was Tuesday, which really wasn't much on the load, but the transmission started acting up. It doesn't want to shift into second gear. Like, I can get it in there, but you gotta fuck with it while you're going on the road, which is kind of a pain. And it still shifts good when it does go into second gear. And it doesn't feel like it's slipping in second gear. It doesn't want to go into it, and then once it does, it's fine, and it'll shift into, third, or drive or overdrive. I don't know. I think this is only a 4-speed, so it's probably drive and then overdrive, but it shifts into them all fine, and good sturdy shifts like it should. It doesn't feel like it's slipping. It's kind of a pain in the ass, so when you kind of give her a little bit once it gets into second, and then slams all the way back into first gear while you're going on the road. But the overdrive off light has been occasionally flashing too while it's doing this. Now, the overdrive is still on, because I can get going down the road just fine. It'll be flashing overdrive off, and I'll push the little switch here under this cap. I obviously take that off, and it definitely it downshifts back into the drive. I turn it back on, and it shifts right back into overdrive, so it's not out of overdrive or anything like that, so it's just flashing on the dash. I don't know if there's a shift module or something that has to do with the shifting on these things. I don't know if they're vacuum, if they're electronic. I have no idea. And instead of laying under this thing and digging around, I figured I'd just ask everybody before I do that, because in a week or so I'll be going for a parts run to get stuff for the Mustang. So I figure, well, as I'm getting the junkyard, if it's just something simple, I can just get a piece for this too. The transmission fluid is kind of dirty and does smell slightly burnt, but not really burnt, so I don't think the tranny is actually going out. It probably needs a filter and some new fluid, which I've been meaning to do for a while, but it's not. I've smelt way worse transmission fluid and they shifted fine yet, so I don't think it's actually burnt out. It's probably definitely got some wear to it, but I don't think it's going out. I just don't know if it's a vacuum actuated shift shit or if it's electronic or what. There's a module for it. But I figured I'd just run that by everybody and see if anybody come up with an answer for me. I really don't want to have to pull a transmission out of this thing and put a different one in, because I'm not going to retire it ever. It's going to keep going until as long as I can keep it going. If wiring and stuff starts going to shit, stuff like that it's a pain in the ass, I'll probably give up. But if it's like, transmission or rear ends or stuff like that, I'll keep her going. Motor runs strong. This thing takes some hard abuse and it still starts right up. I think it's got bad fuel injectors or something. That's pretty common on these. I've heard that sometimes when I go to start it runs like shit and doesn't want to run, but then once you get moving it's fine. Yeah, just running that question by everybody. If anybody's wondering about the Mustang, yes, that's going to get back on the road. I'm working on that. Wait for payday to come. I need a steering column, bolts for the alternator, a new fan, probably convert it over to electric eventually. I think the carburetor probably needs a rebuild. I think it's leaking some of the seals. I think the motor needs some gaskets done to it too, but I'll drive it for a bit first. Maybe they'll work their way good again and not leak so much oil. The exhaust is all falling off this thing again. I gotta go through and redo it again, but I want to fix the transmission before I worry about the exhaust, because if it's something major, I'm not going to worry about the exhaust then. So yeah, let me know what you find. Anybody knows about this kind of thing.